The Ed Matei Foundation presents History. Nope, strike that. Our story. Exploring our past from different perspectives. Let's take a look back at a few things that happened on February 4th. 1789. First U.S. presidential election. On February 4th, 1789, a group of presidential electors, now known as the Electoral College, which had been selected from each state from December 15, 1788 to January 10, 1789, under the newly ratified Constitution, met and would unanimously select George Washington as the nation's first president under the Constitution. John Adams received the most second-place votes and would be named vice president. Here's a couple of fun facts about that. Only 10 out of the 13 states voted. New York didn't send electors, and North Carolina and Rhode Island were ineligible because they hadn't yet ratified the Constitution. Also, while George Washington was the first president of the United States under the Constitution, he was not the first president of the United States. In fact, under the Articles of Confederation, which was in effect from 1781 to 1789, there were 8 presidents, beginning with John Hanson, but they were referred to as the Presidents of the United States in Congress assembled, and each served only a few months. 1826. The Last of the Mohicans, published. In the early part of the 1800s, James Fenimore Cooper, living in Cooperstown, New York, began writing novels in response to a challenge from his wife. His first novel, Precaution, which for some reason he wrote in the style of Jane Austen, wasn't very popular. His second novel, though, The Spy, was successful, and it established him as the first major American novelist. Then, in the 1820s, he began his seminal work, The Leatherstocking Tales, and the second novel of that series, The Last of the Mohicans, published February 4th, 1826, would become his most notable work. Side note, even though all of the Leatherstocking Tales feature Natty Bumppo, also known as Leatherstocking, get it? The publication dates and story dates are kind of all over the place. The first book, chronologically, The Deerslayer, takes place 1740 to 1755, but wasn't published until 1841, the last of the series. Fun fact, James Fenimore Cooper's father, William, founded the town of Otsego in the wilderness of New York, and in 1812, the village would be renamed Cooperstown in his honor. Today, you can visit the Fenimore Art Museum in Cooperstown, New York, which has many objects once belonging to James Fenimore Cooper and is on land that once belonged to him. Happy birthday to Polish engineer, statesman, and hero of the American Revolution, Tadeusz Kościuszko, born February 4th, 1746. You can learn more about Tadeusz by visiting the Tadeusz Kościuszko National Memorial in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, which has the fun distinction of being the smallest National Park Service site. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to join us tomorrow to hear more of our story.